Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Premier class. That's right, a Premier Wrestling class. For those of you this is your first time, welcome. There's going to be quite a few of these to go through, so I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible. And for those returning, hi, haven't seen you in a while. All right, so today we're going to talk about matches. This is just matches part one. So there's going to be two subjects: match design, match do's and don'ts. All right, that's it. But there's a lot of subcategories. So let's just dive right in. Now, a match design is different for everyone. That's right. It's different. It's different for you. It's different from you. You in the back. Yes. And yes, you. I'm pointing at you too. Right. It's different for everyone. Now, there's a formula to it that is best to follow. You could always deviate once you get more comfortable with the audience and all of that. So, what we have to kind of lean against is that spot monkey. Now, everyone has it. I don't care who you are, you have a spot monkey. Whether it's sitting on your shoulders, the voice in the back of your head, that spot monkey, when you go in to design your match, that spot monkey is screaming at you, make this the very best match anyone has ever laid eyes on, ever. Ever. This is the greatest match of all time. Well, feel free to go through and look at greatest wrestling matches of all time on YouTube when you're there watching a Premier Wrestling episode, and check those out and look at them. And that's fine. That's great to look at them. I support that. I want you to look at great matches from the past. Just the first 3 wrestling matches that pop into your head that were like, those were so amazing. Go ahead and look at them. They each and all have the same formula with unique touches put into them from each combatant. Now, what you do is you mute the spot monkey. You clip that noise and you kiss it. That's right. You kiss it. Kiss. Keep it simple, silly. And what you do is mute the spot monkey. Listen to your build up. That's right. Listen to the build up. The voice inside your head that says, how do I build this up? How do I build this up from the beginning to the grand end? Well, that's up to you. Now, you want to start with simplistic moves. Because if you listen to that spot monkey and you're going to do something grand and great within the first minute and a half of your match. So that's like one fraction. That's like 10%. You still have, 90% left of a match. If not 80, it all fluctuates with however much time you got out there. But regardless, that's still the drastic majority of the rest of the match that people are just going to be bored out of their minds. Like, okay, I've already seen a great moment. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to go get something to drink. Let me just skip past this part then. I don't want to watch this nonsense. And so when you get your build up going and you start listening to that build up, then you can start putting forth your pace. Yeah, that's right. You can start focusing in on your pace. And the pace of the match is, there's a lot of factors into it. There's a lot of key factors. There's a lot of side factors. Whatever, you'll start to get into that pace and rhythm with your opponent. Because if you and your opponent are both on the same page with this, all right, you're going to put your different unique touches into it. You're going to not listen to your spot monkey. You're going to focus on your build up. If you start with those 3 ingredients to begin writing a match, you and your opponent will be on the same page and everything will start feeling good. Now, if you can get on the same page with your opponent that soon, that's good. If not, another little foundation, if you will, to help stay and get on the same page is honesty. Be honest about it. Just straight up. If you've got somebody like myself, 6'9", 295 in there against Dubinator, there's gonna be a lot of contrasting. All right, but stay honest. That's it. Just keep things honest. And just say, no, that doesn't look right. Or there's no way that little guy could have done that. I don't care how big and bad you want your character to be. It's just no. So be honest. And that means speak up. Speak up. If me and Xander say, all right, well, we're still in the first third of the match because I write my matches in thirds. But hey, however you write your match, that's up to you. That's however you break your match down to where you understand it best, stick with that. But, if I say, all right, cool, I'm going to catch you in whatever, in a drop down sleeper hold. No, you have to be looking for that. You as the combatant have to be watching out for that. And that honesty leads to the big red door, which I've spoken about on a previous one. Go ahead and rewatch it. If you haven't, that's fine. So the big red door is what you're leading towards. All right. Always point towards that big red door. If your finisher is a cutter at the end, just for example, if you have a cutter at the end, awesome. Then what you want to do is point to the big red door. A jawbreaker, a face breaker, even a clothesline. A clothesline works. Front face lock. There are so many ways you can lead to it. If it's, the ace's mark, then put your opponent in the corner, do some corner thrusts. Put your shoulder into their stomach. Tenderize them, loosen them up. Maybe some body shots. Yeah, just straight fisticuffs to body shots. Drive it in there. It's a prelude. It's a preview towards that. Because it's not a matter of, hey, I want you to see the end now. It's at the end. People subconsciously go, oh, yeah, he did the corner thrusts and then body punches. Yeah, he did focus on the midsection a lot. So that makes sense. That the match would end that way, because everything leads to the end. From the very first move you and your opponent do, whether it's a lockup or what's become a little bit popular in recent years is the circling around, things like that. Everything leads to the end of the match. So that's why you want to throw in a high point. That's right. Now you listen to your spot monkey one time, somewhere towards the middle of the match, to where you both have done a move and you're both gotten up and you're face to face, whatever the case may be, somewhere in the middle where you feel the match is getting a little too low. Just drop at a high point. Listen to that spot monkey just once. You look at your spot monkey and you say, all right, you got one. You get one move right here, you spot monkey. Listen to that. Your opponent agrees. You're on the same page. It looks good. Everything's great. Toss in that high point and then drop in a low point. Yes, just like it's like a spike. It's like a beep. It's like a roller coaster to where you shoot up and then you come back down. So you want to shoot up, then come back down. Whether it's a diving elbow into a pin. Okay. Boom. That's beautiful. See, there's your high point. You got to fly. Boom. Elbow drop. Then you immediately put in a low point with the pin attempt. And so you're getting up from the pin attempt. Your opponent's reeling, but they're about to come back into it. Maybe they make the comeback. If you want to do a pickup, awesome. We'll get into pickups later on. And then you want to start really kind of just fighting. you just want to put in a fight. Your low point should be a fight, a back and forth. Nobody has the upper hand, really. The momentum is shifting so much. Nobody can keep up with it, really, but please let commentary keep up with it. And then that leads to the grand finale. Yeah, that absolutely leads to the grand finale. Some people call for their grand finales. They Babe Ruth it. They point, they call their shot and then they do it. A lot of times people have it the whole Randy Orton, out of nowhere type nonsense. And that's good. That's good. And I just said nonsense because of the weird voice that I did. That was nonsense. But the out of nowhere is great. It's a shock. Again, I'm going to circle back to the Ace's mark. Whoa! He just hit the Ace's mark. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Holy crap. And then while Ace is walking off, talking a bunch of nonsense, being the evil jerk face that he is. Love you, Ace. Then people are realizing, oh, corner thrusts, body shots. Oh, that makes sense. So there you go. That's your match design. Follow that, you're good. About 11 some odd minutes of that. Go ahead and work that out. I'm hoping at least somebody's taking notes. All right, now we're getting into match do's and don'ts. And we're going to go with one that Mr. Aftermath, Mr. LG, Ms. Trice, unless she's gotten married, then Mrs. Insert last name. Hi, Jasmine. So they've said over and over and over and over and over again until they're blue in the face. Practice, practice, practice. But then sometimes you're walking away going, what the balls does that even mean? And they've explained it. And they have explained it. But you're so high on your match, right? Let's just be honest. You're high from your match, or you're so prepared for it that, like for me, show day is the moment I wake up until the end of a post-show meeting. Like that's show day for me. But then afterwards, sometimes I'm so amped up on a show high that I cannot even tie my shoes. Or I get in a match hangover to where I'm just kind of like, oh, I need coffee, and oh, why is the sun so yellow? Things like that. And it could be nighttime and I'm still complaining about the sun being too bright. Regardless. Practice, practice, practice. So I'm going to try more of oh, hey, you're listening. You're in a position to absorb information. Now, there are some people who want to practice a lot. There are some people who don't want to practice at all. Then there's some people in the middle to where they're uncertain about practicing. So there you go. There's your 3 phases of, those who practice. But you got to practice. So, well, I'll speak to each of those 3 individuals, find out what category you fall into, and then go from there. Now, practice, practice, practice always leads to something good. It always leads to something good. Because if you do not want to practice your match, if some part of you says, I don't even want to practice this, then that means you don't believe in the match. Your heart's not in it. That just straight up means you are not behind the product you're about to put out, and that product is you as your character. So if you're just like, nah, we'll be fine, we got this, and you haven't done the 3, which don't worry, I'm getting right into that in a minute. So yeah, foreshadowing. So if you don't want to practice it, then you don't believe in it. Or if you feel like you don't need to practice it and you want to be just a little bit arrogant, and yeah, arrogant has a bad word, then tell yourself, hey, my opponent needs to practice it. All right. If you're going to be so cocky and egotistical, then just say, okay, my opponent needs to practice. Whatever you need to tell yourself to get yourself into a practice. Practice, practice, practice. Or as I like to call them, run-throughs. Oh, look at that. Segue. All right. There are 3 run-throughs And let's run through the run-throughs right now. The first run-through is for posterity. Is to make certain that when you're designing your match, that it sounded cool on paper, but does it look cool? Does it make sense? Does this move you do now make sense 3 moves later? Much like chess. You want to think 3 moves ahead. But invert that. When you're doing a run through for posterity, you want to be thinking 3 moves behind. Okay, I just hit this clothesline. What was my last 3 moves? Did my last 3 moves lead to this clothesline? No. Okay, maybe it led into a drop kick instead. Okay, go ahead and shift out clothesline for drop kick. Do very minimal, small changes in your posterity run through. The first run through, all for posterity. That's positioning. Does this look good? Does this even make sense here? Like, 3 moves ago, I did an eye rake. Why the hell am I doing a quadruple power bomb here? Like, really? What? So, posterity. Your second run through, which should be a total other practice. Once you get the posterity in there, just say, thank you for your time. Give yourself at least an hour. It's like swimming. So you just say, okay, you did a run through, you ate, you can't dive back in. You can't dive back into the pool. So give yourself at least an hour. Sometimes people take a day. That's great, because seriously, you got 7 days to do 3 run throughs. And I'm sorry, this is a little side note. Hope I don't get in trouble for this, but if you cannot do at least 2 run throughs in 7 days, then you might want to reprioritize some things and do less in your matches. And I'm being honest about that. If you don't have the time to work out your big stuff, don't try to do big stuff. It's as simple as that. So, after your posterity run through, an hour or a day later, you get into your second run through, which is the polishing. Yes, it's the polishing. It's the telling your brain, make little notes in the match card. It's okay. It's okay. We'll go get into match cards another time. But for now, polish it up. Put yourself a little note in here. Hit that move when I'm coming off the ropes. Not when I get to the opponent. Okay, cool. You got to polish it up. You got to make it look pretty. Because it looks awesome in your head, but you want it to look pretty. Because let's be honest. If you were buying a car and you went to buy a car and the car is all dusty and there's McDonald's wrappers in there and it smells like fries and depression inside the car, you're just like, I don't want to buy this car. But if somebody took the time out to polish the car, shine it up real nice, turn that sumbitch sideways. Okay, anyway. If the car looks nice and it's all gleaming and glinting with the little cartoon starbursts, in certain spots, yeah, shut up and take my money. That's what we want. We want the people to just be like, oh, so you want to roll out there in front of that audience, polished as hell. Now your third run through. This is the big one. And this is the one I'm going to go out on a limb to say the big reason why 3 of the top people say practice, practice, practice. In Premier Wrestling, it is the speed through. That's right. You both just hit that match and you hit that run through and you don't stop for anything. I don't care if you get the greatest idea ever known to man. Like, better idea than oxygen and fire working together. Like the grandest idea ever. And this is going to revolutionize and change the way people look at wrestling for eternity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it's a great idea then, it'll be a great idea 3 weeks from now. So, Clip all that noise, shut all that off, just speed through. Speed through, time yourself. Is this within my parameters? And on the speed through, because it's so very, very, very important, the most important run through of all, you get your time. You're like, wow, we're a whole minute and 15 seconds under time. Wow, what does that mean? Well, that means you can add 30 seconds. So for every minute that you go over, or I'm sorry, you go under time. For every minute you go under time, only add 30 seconds. 30 seconds of cells. 30 seconds of moving around the ring. That's it. Only add 30 seconds. So, say for instance, you're on the ground, you got your leg hurt, you got a little boo-boo on your leg, and you were going to sell for maybe 5 seconds, go ahead and knock that up to 7. Go ahead and knock up your cells. Bump up your cells. Put that extra time into your cells. It makes the match look better. It's you as a car. Those cells, that's the salesman feeling really, really good. Like his wife or, spouse, I'm sorry, could be anybody. The spouse is wearing something pretty, beautiful. It's a wonderful day. So there you go. Those are the run-throughs. And that's why they say practice, practice, practice. That is why they are important, or 3 big reasons why they are important. Now, here comes some don'ts. Here comes some do nots. First and foremost, miking up during the match. That's a big don't unless you've practiced it, and unless it's brief. That's the only time miking up during a match works. Other times, don't do it. So you get the idea to mic up during a match, unless you have worked it out beforehand with the person filming the show. Do not do it for any reason whatsoever. Period. Don't mic up during the match. Second, don't. Movement chains. I know, this coming from me. Who would have thought? Movement chains. Movement chains are chaining together various moves while you're moving. Don't do that. Do not do that for any reason whatsoever. I know it sounds awesome in your head, and I know when you're doing it in a practice or a writing session or whatever, it looks awesome, but it is not. Do not do movement chains. Do not chain together movements. You get 3. That's it. 3 and you're done. In fact, no, you don't even get 3. I'm going to take one away. You get 2. So you do a rope shoot, drop kick to the knee, rope shoot, enziguri. That's it. That's all you got. There is no third. Do not make a third. Not at all. The next one is lacking theatrics. Yes, lacking theatrics. You just go out there kind of, stop it. You're a bad person. Stop it. Nobody wants to see that match. Really. Nobody does at all. Nobody wants to see the 2 kids hopped up on Ritalin and try to fight. Like, that's all. So put some theatrics in there. Go ahead. If you got a second, type in a, yeah, bitch. You want some? Commentary, hold my baby. I'm going to take care of this. Throw in something. I don't suggest bringing a baby to the ring. Don't bring a baby to the ring. Regardless, hold my weave, hold my earrings. I'm about to show this person what for and give them what for. Put some theatrics into it. It's okay, but only little touches. Don't overdo it. Don't be like SMF. He overdoes it, but it works for him. That's his shtick. Don't steal his shtick, but put your own theatrics into it. That's okay. And the final don't, lag paste. Do not pace your match off of lag. Because lag is your greatest friend and your greatest opponent in that match. So if lag paces your match, oh, it's going to be so terrible. It is. It is going to be so terrible. So if you find yourself hitting lag spikes and all that stuff, quick tip, reposition yourself. Reposition yourself. You got a low moment of you both selling, get up, do a stand sell, and then rotate around. Rotate around, talk it out with your opponent, tell them about lag pacing, and you should be fine, but do not pace your match from lag. All right, folks. Woo! Wow, under 30 minutes. Go me. Ha. Well, there we go. So, I'm going to do a quick run through now of what we talked about. Different for everyone. Put your unique touches into it, but be smart about it. 2, Spot Monkey. Turn off the Spot Monkey until you're at the end of designing your match. To the end of the design of your match. That's where the Spot Monkey comes in. Not before. Me, I do it in thirds. I break mine up in thirds. Beginning, middle, and end. So wait until that end section to start listening to the Spot Monkey. Build up. You want to get some good build up. And that build up is simple, boring ass, done them a billion times moves in that beginning chunk. In the beginning part of the match, go ahead. Whatever they may be. Like for me, it's chain wrestling, it's holds, it's grapples, things like that. It's technical stuff. Other people might be some speed stuff, might want to kick a leg, punch a rib, whatever. Build up. Then pace yourself. Pace the match. Pace it. It's okay. It's okay. You want to get that pace going, you want to get that pace rolling, but hold tight. Hold them reins tight, not Roman reins. Like on a horse. Hold control. The both of you together, or 3 of you, or however many people are in the match, you gotta keep control of the pace. Then honesty. Be honest with yourself. If it doesn't make sense in real life, don't make sense in the ring. And the ring is real life is the ring. I'm not even going to get into that existential argument. But be honest. Does this look honest? Because if you try to lie to the fans too blatantly, you're going to get rejected. And they're going to go get some popcorn. And they're going to wait for commentary to mess up. Then, the big red door. Always point towards the big red door. Again, for somebody like Ace, shoulder thrusts, body shots, all should lead right. You should, tell people the Ace mark is coming. It's like a prelude, foreshadowing. Big red door. Always point at it. This is what's about to happen, but you have no idea what's behind that big red door. Next. Everything leads to the end. That's right. The reason why you're pointing in that big red door is because every step, every movement, every time you put yourself into position to go to a corner, to rope shoot, to be on the left side of the ring instead of the right side of the ring, or to point your ass towards commentary, there's a reason. And that's what you should always be on, is that everything leads to the end of the match. Next stop, high point, right smack dab in the middle. Throw it in there. You wanna take one of the ideas from your Spot Monkey? You can, but you should not unleash that little bastard until the end. Regardless, put in a high point, quickly followed by a low point, which is real simple, real easy. Do something big. Go for a pin attempt. There you go. Something big, pin attempt. Primed, premier example of a high point into a low point. And then your grand finale. It's what you've been thinking about all week long. It's that root beer float on a Friday night. It's that brand new pair of socks on a Sunday evening. Well, whatever. You've been thinking about it all damn week. Get to it. Enjoy it. Love it. Now, match do's and don'ts. Practice, practice, practice. Again, we covered that, so go ahead and rewind this or jump back. Then realize why the premier uppers, the management, whatever they like to call themselves, but they have been telling you for a long time, but then sometimes you're just not in a position to actually listen to what they're saying and to absorb it. That's okay. We're humans. It happens. I covered a lot of it in this. Run through 1, posterity. Make certain it looks good. Ran through. The run through 2, polishing. Make it pretty. People want to buy pretty things. Period. People love buying pretty things. Something's dirty and rusted and worn out, I don't want it. So if you're not polished, it's not going to be wanted. Then finally, the speed through, the most important one. Go through it all, nonstop. Don't stop for anything. I don't care if somebody's getting a cramp in their pinky toe or they really got to go use the bathroom. You say, "You hold it, you son of a bitch, and we're going to get through this." Speed through. Speed through, speed through. The most important run through of them all. Now here come the don'ts. Don't mic up during a match unless you have practiced it and it's quick and it's good and you got your volumes turned down. Anyway, talk to production about miking up, but I say don't do it, even though I love doing it. I admit it. Yes, it's like a guilty pleasure of mine. It's like listening to Kelly Clarkson and Clay Aiken back to back. It's a guilty pleasure. Next, movement chains. You get 2. You get 2 rope shoots and a hit. You don't get a third. Don't go for a third. It's bad, okay? It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Next one, don't lack in theatrics. Put some theatrics in there. Put some pizzazz in there. Yes, it's wonderful. Throw some glitter on that. Even my big ass is throwing some glitter on things at times. I don't care. I'm comfortable with who I am. It's 2021. Don't judge. Put some theatrics in there. All right, but don't take SMF shtick. All right, no, that's his. Leave it to his. And finally, never let lag pace your match. Adjust your positioning in the ring to get lag out of there and then stick right back to the pace. Right back to the pace. If you've done run-throughs before, then that's awesome. That's stupendous. We love it. So, there you go, everybody. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.